Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and on this channel I talk about perfumes, so if this is something that you're into then please subscribe. And today I would like to talk about the two new releases by Atelier and it's Kimiya and Kawa Karda. So sorry if I'm butchering the names of these perfumes, but I was curious about them when I first heard about it, and I was also intrigued because the house decided not to release the full breakdown of notes, and they only released the two notes that are in each fragrance. And in Kawa Karda it's coffee and cardamom, and in Kimi it's cocoa and cardamom. And so looking at the notes, I thought that I'm going to like Kawa Karda more, and that was the case, definitely in this scenario. And so let me start with Kimi because I feel like people were more excited about Kimi for some reason, and so I'm going to start my review with this scent. And oh god, I just regretted spraying this big spray because it's incredibly intense fragrance that unfortunately I do not like. It's definitely not my cup of tea. It smells like a blast of cardamom. Like there is definitely cocoa there somewhere in the background, but cardamom definitely steals the show, and that's like 90% of what I can smell in here, and only 10% I can smell the cocoa. And it's just so dark and deep and spicy. It's like incredibly spicy cardamom here, and I would say that it's definitely overwhelming for me for sure. And also I know that there is no listed patchouli note in this perfume, but I feel like it's there because it has this patchouli like type of smell that gives this fragrance a very mature and earthy quality. And I'm just like not a very much of a fan of this kind of scent profile. Cocoa, cardamom, and patchouli, it's just too dark and too deep. It kind of like, you know, it's the perfect bottle for it. It's a very like dark colored bottle, and I feel like it smells exactly like the color, you know, very dark and very deep. It's also like too spicy for me. So cardamom note for me, it can go into two different directions. It can either like be subtle, and if it's subtle then I like it, but if it's very intense, for example like in Starlight by Job, if it's very intense note of cardamom and if it overtakes the fragrance, you know, usually I do not like it. So that's what happened with this fragrance. But I feel like if you like patchouli, if you like cocoa, and if you like a very intense note of cardamom, then definitely give this one a chance. And even though I do not like it, I feel like it's a good scent objectively and people would like it. Also another thing I wanted to mention is that it's definitely unisex fragrance. It does not lean masculine or feminine. I think it fits perfectly in the middle. And if I would think of the occasion to wear this fragrance, it would be definitely evening, and it would be like colder weather because it can be overwhelming for sure. And that's why I think that like winter and colder weather would be perfect for that fragrance. So, and now I'm going to review Kawa Karda, and this is the fragrance that I liked a lot more than Kimi. And this is the combination of coffee and cardamom, but I'm like pretty sure there is something else in this fragrance. Of course there is something, and upon the first spray I definitely can smell something like bright and uplifting, and the first thing that comes to mind is that there is some kind of citrus note here. It gives this fragrance, you know, this vibrant kick and also like slight sweetness, and I like it because it doesn't let this fragrance go into completely spicy and very like cardamom-y direction, which happened to Kimi. So I really enjoy this fragrance, and it also does have this some kind of like metallic note there in the background. It's very like tiny. It's not prominent, it's not too much, but it's there, and it kind of gives this fragrance a unique kick, which I like. And just nothing that I've smelled before. And of course I feel like coffee is the star of the show here. It definitely overpowers the cardamom, which I prefer because like I've said, I do not like very prominent note of cardamom. I like when it's more of a supporting note, and that's what it is here. It's definitely like a supporting note to coffee, and coffee is the most prominent note here. And the vibe that I get from this fragrance is that it's like some kind of like Arabic coffee that was just made, and you're, you know, smelling this coffee paste that comes out when you make the fragrance on the stove. So I'm going to like attach a picture here so you guys know what I'm talking about, because I was not very good at describing what I'm smelling. And yes, I really love it, and I feel like people who love coffee fragrances are going to like this one because it's very unique and very, also it's like intense and dark and deep, but kind of in, you know, in a different way from Kimi. Kimi for me is incredibly spicy fragrance, while this one is not that spicy, and I feel like this is a lot more wearable, and also it's unisex. I also think that this is a unisex fragrance, and I do not think that it leans feminine. And the best occasion for this fragrance would be also evening and during the, like, you know, fall and winter, because again, it's intense, it's dark and deep, and I would not like want to wear it during the spring and summer because it's just not the type of fragrance. And so if you're looking for something darker, more mysterious, more unique coffee fragrance, then definitely give Kawa Karda a chance.